Ene, I can hear you breathing, the woman shouted. Open this door before I disgrace you in this compound. You think because you wear fine clothes and carry designer bag, you can cheat people? Ene was standing in front of her wardrobe trying to squeeze into a dress she had bought 3 weeks ago when she heard the knock. Not the normal knock, a heavy one, the kind that makes your stomach drop even before you open the door. She froze. Through the thin walls of her self-contained Sulere, she could hear the woman's voice, loud, sharp, angry. Ene, I know you are inside. Open this door. Ene looked at the half-zipped dress, looked at the door, looked at her phone on the bed. 17 missed calls, 32 unread messages. She had been ignoring them all morning. The last voice note had said, if you don't pay me by Friday, I'm coming to your house. Today was Saturday. Ene tiptoed to the door, careful not to make the floor creak. She pressed her eye against the peephole. A middle-aged woman was standing there with her hands folded, fury written across her face. Next to her was a younger woman, probably her daughter, looking uncomfortable. Ene's phone started ringing again. She glanced at it. Nedu, her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend now, technically. So she kept telling herself they were just on a break. She let it ring out. Ene, the banging got louder. I will not leave here today. You will give me my money, or I will sit on your doorstep and tell everyone in this compound who you are. Ene had no choice. She opened the door. The woman pushed past her immediately, her daughter following reluctantly, but they weren't alone. 2 more people squeezed in behind them. God's power, the security guard from her workplace, and Auntie Kemi, one of the cleaning staff. Ene's stomach dropped to her feet. So all of them came together. Ene tried to laugh, but it came out wrong. Nervous, guilty. Yes, we came together, the first woman snapped. She was Mama Chidi. Ene realized now. She had borrowed 12,000 naira from her 2 months ago. Mama Chidi sold akara and pap near the mall entrance. We were talking, and we found that this girl has collected money from all of us. 6 months ago, Ene's life had looked perfect. At least on Instagram it did. At Gibbs as a sales representative, the big one in Ikeja City Mall, her salary was 195,000 naira. Not fantastic for Lagos, but decent. She did shifts. Morning shift 1 week, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Afternoon shift the next, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. The rotating schedule was exhausting, but it had its advantages. When she was on morning shift, she could take her makeup appointments in the evening. When she was on afternoon shift, she could do makeup in the mornings. And her makeup business was good, really good. She had built a reputation. Brides in Lekki, birthday girls in Victoria Island, even some minor celebrities when they needed their face bit for events. On a good weekend, she could make 80,000 naira, sometimes 150,000. She had a boyfriend, Nedu. He worked at one of the banks in Marina. Not a big position, but steady. He was the kind of guy who planned everything. Budgets, savings, future. The kind of guy who made Ene feel like she should be more responsible, but somehow never actually made her become more responsible. Ene, you need to start saving, he would say, lying in her bed on a Sunday afternoon. We can't keep living like this. We are not getting younger. I know, she would reply, scrolling through Jumia on her phone. I will start next month, I promise. Next month never came because Ene lived by one simple philosophy. YOLO, you only live once. Life in Lagos was hard enough. Traffic from Sulere to Ikeja every morning, dealing with difficult customers at the store. Her supervisor, Mr. Okonkwo, breathing down her neck about her attendance and punctuality. If she made money, she deserved to enjoy it. That's what she told herself every time she clicked add to cart or booked a boat she couldn't afford. The problem was never the money coming in. The problem was the money going out. Last month was a perfect example. She had done makeup for a bride in Victoria Island. Big wedding. The woman had paid her 120,000 naira cash. Ene had finished the job at 2 p.m. She was tired. Her feet were killing in the heels she had worn to look professional. She could have taken a bus from VI to Studley, maybe change at Siemens. Total cost 500 naira, but she had just made money and she was tired. And there was a new restaurant in Lekki everyone was talking about. She had been wanting to try it. She had ordered a boat, 15,000 naira from VI to Lekki because of afternoon traffic. At the restaurant, some Asian fusion plates with dim lighting and overpriced cocktails. She had ordered too much. Sushi, ramen, some drinks she couldn't pronounce. The bill came to 32,000 naira. Then she had gone shopping at Palms Mall, saw a bag, not designer, but designer looking. Only 40,000. She had bought it. Another boat from Lekki to Siliri, 18,000 naira because of evening search. She had gotten home with 15,000 naira left from her 120,000. Less than 1 day. Gone. The next day, she had seen a dress online. Beautiful. Perfect for the wedding she was attending next weekend. Only 28,000. She had bought it with her salary money. By the middle of the month, her account was empty again. That's how the borrowing always started. Small at first. God's power, beg. I need 15,000. I will pay you back on Friday when I get paid for a makeup job. God's power had hesitated. He was a security guard at the mall. He earned 45,000 a month. He had a wife and 2 kids in Ikorodu, but Ene was nice to him, always greeted him, sometimes bought him food from food courts. Sister Ene, I need this money. My daughter's school fees. I know, I promise. This Friday, I'm doing makeup for a big client. He had given her the money. She had used 10,000 to pay for her contribution at her girls' club. The remaining 5 went to buying lunch at Poker Hut because a client had said she wanted to see her and she couldn't suggest a cheap place. What would she think? Friday came. The makeup client cancelled, rescheduled for next month. Ene avoided God's power for 2 weeks. She had borrowed from Auntie Kemi, one of the cleaning staff at the mall, 25,000 naira. Sister Ene, this is my rent though. Auntie Kemi had said, her voice shaking as she handed over the cash. Please, I'm begging you, don't play with it. Auntie, have I ever disappointed you? 2 weeks, just 2 weeks. She had used the money to restock her makeup kit, new brushes, professional stuff, except she had also bought 2 pairs of shoes that were on sale and had lunch at a new restaurant in Lekki. 2 weeks became a month. A month became 2 months. She had borrowed from Mama Chidi, the Caracella, from Shegu, the guy who helped pack cars at the mall entrance, from her colleague Jennifer at the customer service, from Tude, who worked in electronics, even from Chioma, a sales girl who earned less than she did. And just 5,000. I need to send money home to my mother. Chioma, I will give you on Monday. I'm just waiting for a client to pay. Monday came, no money. She had spent her weekend at Landmark Beach, eating small chops, drinking Chapman, taking photos for Instagram, living my best life. The comments flooded in. You are doing well, yo. Big girl stairs. This is what I'm talking about. Nobody knew she had 400 naira in her account. Her phone was always ringing, always buzzing. People asking her for their money. She developed a system, different excuses for different people. For God's power, my client hasn't paid me yet. She keeps postponing. You know these Lagos big madams. For Auntie Kemi, my salary is delayed this month. The company is having some issues, but I will pay you once it drops. For Mama Chidi, I had an emergency. My mother is sick. I had to send money home. Please, just give me 1 more week. The lies rolled off her tongue so easily, so smoothly, and somehow, she always managed to dodge them, to avoid them, to stay 1 step ahead until today. They had traced her to her apartment in Sulere. Now, they were all standing in her room, and they looked down with her excuses. Gospower looked uncomfortable but determined. He was still in his security uniform. Sister Ene, I don't want trouble. I just want my 15,000. My daughter's school sent her home yesterday. They say if I don't pay by Monday, she can't write her exams. Auntie Kemi's eyes were red. She had been crying. Sister Ene, why? Why did you do this to me? My landlord came to my house yesterday with area boys. He's threatening to throw my things out. That money was my rent. Ene felt her throat closing up. She looked from one face to another. They were not rich people. These were people who woke up at 4 a.m. to fry akara in the dark, who stood on their feet for 12 hours watching gates, who cleaned toilets for a living. And she, who earned 3, 4, sometimes 10 times what they earned in a month, had borrowed from them and spent their money on bags and food and boat rides. Mama Chidi's daughter spoke for the first time. Her voice was quiet but sharp. My mother has been keeping meals to manage because of the money you own her. But I see you on Instagram posting every day. New clothes, new hair, eating at expensive places. The room went silent. Ene's phone rang again. Nedu. She looked at it, then at the faces staring at her. She answered, Nedu, where are you? His voice was tight, angry. I'm in my house. I can hear voices. What's going on? There are some people here. I'm coming up. The line went dead. Few minutes later, Nedu appeared at the door. He looked at the crowd in Ene's small balcony, at Ene, still in her half-zipped dress. What's happening here? He asked. Mama Chidi turned to him. And who are you? I'm her boyfriend. What's going on? Your girlfriend is a thief, Mama Chidi said flatly. She had been collecting money from people and refusing to pay back. Nedu looked at Ene. Is this true? Ene couldn't speak. She couldn't move. How much does she owe? Nedu asked. I gave her 12,000, Mama Chidi said. 15,000, Power added. 25,000, Auntie Kevin whispered. I'm sure there are others, Mama Chidi's daughter said. We are just the ones who came today. Nedu's jaw tightened. He pulled out his phone. What's your account number? Nedu, no, Ernest started. What is your account number? Each word came like a bullet. Mama Chidi gave her her OP account number, then got power, then Auntie Kemi. Nedu made 3 transfers right there in front of everyone. 52,000 naira gone. When the alerts came, the 3 of them left quietly. Mama Chidi paused at the door and looked back at Ene. You should be ashamed of yourself, she said. Then they were gone. The door closed. Ene and Nedu stood there in the silence. How many others? Nedu asked finally. What? How many other people are you owing? Tell me the truth. Ene, for once in your life, tell me the truth. Ene felt tears starting. I don't know exactly. You don't know? Nedu's voice went up. You don't know how many people you are owing? Ene, what is wrong with you? I'm going to pay them back. With what? He gestured around the room. At her clothes, her shoes, her bags, her makeup kit. With all these things you keep buying while owing people money. You don't understand. No, you don't understand. Nedu was shouting now. Do you know how embarrassing this is? Do you know that those people are going to say that my girlfriend is a debtor? That she borrows money from security guards and doesn't pay back? So that's what you're worried about. Your reputation. I'm worried about you, Ene. I'm worried that you have a problem and you can't even see it. He ran his hand over his face. Do you know this isn't the first time I've bailed you out? Last month, I gave you 40,000 naira because you said you needed to pay for something urgent. The month before, 30,000 naira. Before that, 25. Ernest stared at him. I paid you back. You paid me back half, Ene. And I didn't even ask for the rest because I thought we were building something together. I thought we were saving for our future. He laughed bitterly. But there is no way, is there? There's just you, spending, buying, living your best life while owing everyone in Lagos. Nedu, please, I can't do this anymore. His voice went quiet. I can't be with someone who lies to me, who borrows from people who can barely feed themselves. Who cares more about looking successful than actually being successful? What are you saying? I'm saying we are done, Ene. I'm done. He walked to the door. Nedu, wait. He turned back. You need help. Real help. Not money. Not someone to bail you out. You need to figure out why you are like this. Why you can't stop spending. Why you keep hurting people. Then he left. Ene stood there alone in her room, surrounded by all her things, all the things that had cost her everything. She sank to the floor and cried. The next few weeks were brutal. Nidu blocked her number, blocked her on all social media. When she went to his office in Marina, security told her he had left instructions not to let her in. She had lost him, really lost him, but she still had her job, still had her makeup business. She could bounce back. She always did. She threw herself into work, took every shift she could at games in Ikeja, smiled at customers, pretended everything was fine. God's power avoided her, and Kemi looked at her with something like pity now, which was worse than anger. Her supervisor, Mr. Okonkwo, called her into the office one Monday morning. Ene sits down. The serious tone, the closed door. Ene's house started whizzing. Is everything okay, sir? Mr. Okonkwo looked tired. Ene, the store is downsizing. The words didn't make sense at first. Closing? What do you mean, sir? Head office sent a memo this morning. Sales have been very poor. Instead of shutting down this branch, a few people will be laid off. Ene felt the room tilt. When? End of the month. You will get 1 month's salary in lieu of notice. 1 month's salary, 195,000 naira, and then nothing. Ene left the office in a daze. Her colleague Jennifer saw her in the hallway and quickly looked away. Tunde saw her near the electronics section and turned around. They all knew. Everybody had heard the downsizing rumors. And now, they probably thought she would never pay them back because she was losing her job. She still owed Jennifer 20,000, Tunde 30,000, Chioma 15,000, Shegu 5,000, and others, so many others. She had lost count. That night, Ene sat in her room and opened her banking app. Current balance 6,800 naira. Her salary was 5 days old. She opened her calculator, started adding up all the days she could remember. The total came to 218,000 naira. And that was just the people she could remember. There might be others. Her phone buzzed. A message from a bride she was supposed to do makeup for next month. Hi Ene, I'm sorry but I'm going to have to cancel. I found someone else. Thanks anyway. No explanation. Just found someone else. Ene called her. Hello, please. Can I ask why? Did I do something wrong? The bride's voice was uncomfortable. Someone told me they said you borrow money from people and don't pay back. I can't have that kind of energy around my wedding. I'm sorry, she hung up. Ene sat there, phone in hand, feeling her world crumbling. Her reputation was ruined. People were talking, warning each other about her. How many clients had she lost this way? How many bookings cancelled because someone had whispered in their ear that Eneke, she's a dead doll. Better find someone else. For the first time in her life, Ene understood what consequences meant. The final month at games was torture. Ene showed up for her shift, did her work, and left. Nobody talked to her unless they had to. During her lunch break, she sat alone in the food court. Jennifer and Chioma used to join her. Now they ate somewhere else. Shego stopped greeting her. Even customers seemed to sense something was off. Her sales numbers dropped. Mr. Okonkwo mentioned it in their final meeting. You used to be one of our best, Ene. What happened? Ene didn't have an answer. On her last day, they gave her an envelope with her final salary, 195,000 naira. She should have felt relieved. At least she had some money, but all she felt was empty. She took the money. By the end of the week, Ene had 40,000 left. No job, rent due in 2 months, and her makeup business was struggling because people hardly booked her. Her phone rang, unknown number. She almost didn't answer. Hello, is this Ene, the makeup artist? A spark of hope. Yes, this is she. I saw your work on Instagram. I'm getting married next month. I need a makeup artist. Are you available? They discussed details. The bride wanted full bridal makeup plus 5 bridesmaids. The pay was 80,000 naira total. It wasn't much, but it was something. I was saying the 30% deposit today, the bride said. When the alert came, 24,000 naira, Ernest stared at her phone and felt something crack inside her chest. This was it. This was all she had now. Makeup jobs here and there. No steady income. No safety net. No needle to bail her as when things went wrong. She was completely alone. That night, Ene did something she had never done before. She sat down with a notebook and wrote everything out. Every debt, every expense, every kobo she had. When she was done, she stared at the numbers. She still owed 123,000 naira to various people. She had 164,000 naira total. Rent was 200,000, due in 3 weeks. If she paid rent, she would have nothing left for food, for transport, for anything. If she paid her debts, she would be homeless. For the first time in her life, Ene understood what broke really meant. Not, I spent all my money broke, but I have nowhere to turn broke. The kind of broke where every decision was impossible because every option was bad. She put her head on the table and sobbed. The next morning, Ene woke up to 17 missed calls, all from people she owed money to, people who had heard she lost her job, people who were panicking. She ignored them all. Instead, she got dressed and went to Ikeja City Mall, not to her old workplace, but to work, to think. She sat in the food court and watched people, families, couples, friends. Everyone looked happy. Everyone looked like they had their lives together. Had she ever really been happy? Or had she just been chasing a feeling, buying things to fill a hole that never got filled? Her phone rang. Zainab, her friend from university. Ene answered, "Hello? Ene, what's going on? I've been calling you for days." "I'm fine." "You're not fine. I can hear it from your voice. Talk to me." And Ene broke, told her everything. The debts, the job loss, Nedu leaving, the client's cancelling, all of it. Zainab was quiet for a long time. "Ene, you need to stop." "Stop what?" "Stop running. Stop hiding. Stop pretending. You have a problem, a real problem, and until you admit it and deal with it, nothing is going to change." "I know I have a problem." "No, you don't. Because if you really knew, you would have stopped by now. You would have gotten help. But instead, you keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results." Ene felt anger rising. "So what do you want me to do, Zainab? I lost my job. I lost my boyfriend. I'm about to lose my house. What more do you want from me? I want you to change. Really change. Not just pay people back because you got caught, but actually fix whatever is broken inside you that makes you do this." "How?" Ene's voice cracked. "How do I fix it?" "I don't know. Therapy maybe. Financial counseling, something." "Ene, if you don't change, this is just going to happen again. You will get another job, make more money, and spend it all again, and we'll be right back here." After they hung up, Ene sat there for a long time. Zainab was right. She knew it. This wasn't the first time she had been broke. It wasn't even the first time she had sworn to change, but it was the first time she had lost everything at once. Maybe that was what it took. Rock bottom. The place where you have nothing left to lose. 2 months later, Ene was sitting in a danfo from Sulere to Ikeja. She couldn't afford boats anymore, could barely afford danfo. She had lost her apartment in Sulere, the nice one room with wardrobe and LED lights, moved to a face me I face you in Ebeda that she shared with 2 other girls, 40,000 naira a year, the cheapest she could find. The room was tiny, barely enough space for a mattress on the floor and her makeup kit, but it was shelter. She had paid off most of her debts, not all, but the urgent ones. The people who were really suffering. Some people had written her off completely, stopped picking her calls. She didn't blame them. She still owed Jennifer, still owed Tunde, still owed others, but she had made a plan, a real plan this time. Every makeup job she got, 50% went to debt, 25% to rent and feeding. The rest went into a separate account she had opened with no debit card attached. No card, no temptation. The jobs were small. A birthday party in Oshodi, a graduation shoot in Oba, a traditional engagement in Fadeyi where the family haggled her down from 20,000 to 14,000, and she accepted because 14,000 was better than zero. She took them all. She stopped posting on Instagram, not permanently, just until she could trust herself again. Because every time she opened the app, she felt the pull, the urge to perform, to show people she was still winning. And she knew exactly where that pull led. 5 months later, she had crossed off almost every name in her notebook. Jennifer, Tunde, Chioma, one by one. The last one was Shegu, 5,000 naira, the smallest debt on the list. She found him outside the mall on a Tuesday morning, still at his post, parking cars like nothing had changed. She handed him an envelope, 5,000. I'm sorry it took long. He counted it, looked up. Sister Ene had forgotten about this one. I hadn't, she said. He nodded, put the money in his pocket. That was it. She walked to the bus stop feeling lighter than she had in years. She never went back to the way things were, not because she became a saint overnight. She still liked nice things, still felt the pull sometimes, but she had learned to ask herself one question before spending anything. Not, can I afford this? She always convinced herself she could afford things she couldn't. The question was simpler. Who will I have to borrow from if I buy this? If the answer was anyone, she put it back. A year after Mama Chidi knocked on that door, Ene was renting a small studio space in Yaba, 1 room, a second-hand makeup chair, a mirror with good light, not much, but has, fully paid for, no debt attached to it. Her phone was ringing with a new client inquiry, a bride referred by someone she had done makeup for 2 months ago. She picked up the call, reached for her phone and a piece of paper to write down the details. Simple, ordinary, honest. That was enough. For more interesting African folk tales and stories like this, please do well to like, leave a comment, share this story with your loved one, and finally, besties, please subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to our channel. It's free. It's a way of encouraging us to bring interesting stories like this. And until I come your way again with another interesting story, for now, bye, besties.